your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. In today's video, we're peeling back the curtain on how 6 major companies are navigating the choppy waters of newly imposed tariffs, and what it means for American jobs, global commerce, and the automotive world we all love. These aren't just dry boardroom decisions. They're game-changing moves that affect everything from your next online purchase to the car in your driveway. So buckle up, gearheads, and let's dive in. Number 6. Shein and Temu's e-commerce evolution under tariff pressure. E-commerce giants Shein and Temu are facing a major hit from the US government's removal of the de minimis exemption for packages under $800, now slapped with tariffs of up to 145%. Shein has already told customers to expect price hikes, while Temu is pivoting to rely more on US-based warehouses to dodge these punishing tariffs, a logistical challenge in itself. Both have cut ad spending and paused new campaigns, signaling a major retreat. Smaller overseas brands like the UK's Space NK and Canada's Understance are bowing out completely, unwilling to absorb the cost. For car enthusiasts, it's a striking example of how quickly trade policies can reshape industries. Just like dialing in an engine's performance, these companies must quickly adapt to stay competitive in an ever-shifting landscape. But Shein and Temu's struggles aren't isolated. Another industry player is making waves in a similar fashion, adjusting to new tariffs and rethinking its production blueprint. Number 5. MGA Entertainment shifts gears in manufacturing. Let's talk about MGA Entertainment, the California-based toy giant behind Bratz dolls and LOL Surprise toys. You might not expect toys in a trade war story, but with China making 77% of America's toy supply, tariffs have changed the game. MGA is fast-tracking its shift away from China, aiming to relocate 40% of production to India, Vietnam, and Indonesia within 6 months. A big jump from the current 10 to 15%. Why? Tariffs are squeezing margins. Even toy titans must adapt or risk falling behind. Retailers like Walmart and Target are watching closely since this shift could mean higher toy prices and slimmer shelves during peak shopping seasons. For automotive fans, this story resonates. Just like car makers adjusting global parts sourcing, MGA is fine-tuning its strategy to keep the wheels turning. As MGA retools its supply chain, let's shift our attention to an industry vital to vehicle production itself, aluminum, and see how a major player is tackling the tariff turmoil. Number 4. Alcoa's aluminum rerouting strategy. Alcoa, the American aluminum powerhouse, is shifting gears to deal with fresh tariffs on Canadian metals. Instead of sending aluminum south, Alcoa is rerouting shipments across the Atlantic to Europe, where trade conditions are more favorable. But that doesn't mean US factories are out of luck. Alcoa is looking to its Australian operations to fill the gap if they prove more tariff-proof. For gearheads and car lovers, this is more than corporate maneuvering. It's about protecting the supply lines that keep our cars, motorcycles, and even soda cans rolling. But these shifts come at a cost. As global metal trade routes shift, those higher aluminum prices will eventually find their way into everything from your next vehicle to the can of your favorite energy drink. It's a ripple effect that could shape the automotive landscape in the coming years. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's keep the momentum rolling and explore how one of America's biggest equipment makers is recalibrating to stay in the race. Number 3. Deere & Company's tactical response to tariff woes. Deere & Company, the American icon known for its rugged agricultural and construction equipment, is bracing for $500 million in tariff-related costs in 2025 alone. $100 million already spent, with $400 million more looming by October. Deere's game plan? Shifting production across its global facilities and nudging prices up 2 to 4% for upcoming models to soften the financial blow without losing customers. They're also tapping into trade deals like the USMCA and renegotiating supplier contracts to find some breathing room. But here's the twist. Even though 80% of Deere's US sales are from American-made machines, 60% of the tariff burden comes from imported parts from the EU, Mexico, and China. It's a stark reminder that even homegrown champions can't escape the ripple effects of global trade tensions. much like us gearheads fine-tuning our rides to tackle any road ahead. With Deere's strategy set, let's pivot to the world of smartphones and see how Apple is revving up its manufacturing shift. Number 2. Apple's manufacturing pivot to India. Next up is Apple, the tech giant that touches every aspect of our lives. In April 2025, India surpassed China as the largest iPhone exporter to the US, shipping 3.3 million units, a 76% year-over-year jump. This isn't a temporary blip, it's a fundamental shift. Facing the threat of a 25% tariff on iPhones made outside the US, Apple pivoted quickly. Building iPhones in the US wasn't feasible due to soaring costs, so Apple doubled down in India, where labor is cheaper and trade tensions lower. Foxconn is leading the way with a massive $1.5 billion factory in Bengaluru, creating 50,000 jobs. By the end of 2025, 2/3 of iPhones sold in the US may be Indian-made. For auto enthusiasts, this mirrors how global supply chain decisions shape entire industries and reveal the power of adaptability. Finally, let's circle back to the heart of the automotive world and see how Stellantis is weathering this storm. Number 1. Stellantis and the auto industry's tariff turbulence. Let's wrap up with Stellantis, the powerhouse behind Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram. In April 2025, Stellantis axed 900 jobs across 5 U.S. plants and halted production in Mexico and Canada. Why? Those punishing 25% tariffs on imported vehicles turned their cross-border production model upside down. The United Auto Workers Union didn't hold back, calling the layoffs a horrifying consequence of reckless tariff escalation. It's more than numbers, it's people and families caught in trade war crossfire. Stellantis also suspended its 2025 financial forecasts, pointing to a 20% plunge in North American sales, and a market so chaotic it's like driving blindfolded. They're not alone. Ford is offering employee pricing to keep sales moving, and Nissan has paused U.S. orders for certain Mexico-built SUVs. In this unpredictable environment, every automaker is scrambling to stay on track. Verdict: shifting gears in a new trade era. From Shein and Temu's digital storefront recalibrations to Stellantis' hard-hitting layoffs, these stories paint a vivid picture of how tariffs are rewriting the rules of global commerce. For enthusiasts and drivers alike, it's a reminder that every supply chain decision reverberates through the showroom floor and the prices we pay. Now we want to hear from you. How do you see these massive corporate shifts shaping the future of the automotive world? Have you noticed any price hikes or product delays in your daily life that might be tied to these tariff-driven changes? What do you think automakers and tech giants should be doing to adapt to this new normal? Let us know your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We love hearing from our fellow road warriors. And don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald to stay ahead of the curve on all the latest vehicle updates and behind-the-scenes insights. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.